What's going on, everyone? So Domantas Sabonis may end up being available on the trade market. That the Sacramento Kings are expected to at least field offers for a potential Sabonis trade. Kind of indifferent on him with the Lakers, right? Of course, I always want to hear your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. Getting kind of the pros and cons breakdown. But I mean, essentially, look, he is one of the better just centers in all of basketball, right? Excellent rebounder, one of the best rebounders in all of basketball, a guy you can run your offense through, can be an offensive engine. I mean, he is in many ways a poor man Jokic, right? But he also has the lack of defense that a Jokic has, right? He's not a good defensive player by any stretch of the imagination. And I lean towards, right, like the concern of like, what do you do when you need a stop? And you have Luka, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, Domantas, although you'd probably be trading Rui to get Sabonis, but all these basically non-athletic, non-defensive players. You're probably in a bad spot. Now, if the Lakers were to trade Austin Reeves and, let's say they got an Andrew Wiggins and then traded Austin Reeves to go and get a, better point of attack guard or wing or whatever. Like, let's say you could turn Austin Reeves into like Herb Jones and some stuff, right? And you had like Herb Jones, Andrew Wiggins, LeBron James, Sabonis, and Luka. Then fine. I wouldn't hate something like that because you have the perimeter size and defense and the big wings with Wiggins, a Herb Jones and a LeBron James to kind of mask Luka and Sabonis, right? I also think Luka and Sabonis would be kind of an interesting pairing. I think it'd be the closest thing that you would get to like a Luka and Jokic, right? There we go. I don't know why that left my brain, but yeah, I like Sabonis. I think he's great. A couple things. One, is he the second guy next to Luka long-term because he's being paid as such, right? And he has multiple years still on his deal, right? So you'd have to send out quite a bit of salary in order to acquire him. So you look at his contract. He is in year 2 of his recent contract in which he signed a $186 million deal. He's going to make $42.3 million this year. He's going to make $45.4 million next, and then $48.6 million in 2027, 2028. If you go and trade for Sabonis, Luka Doncic and Domantas Sabonis are your two guys for the future, right? Those are your two stars for the future, right? The other thing is like what you'd have to trade for Sabonis. Right, I think you would have to trade Austin Reeves, not for Sabonis, but after. If you were to trade for Sabonis, I think you have no choice. You have to trade Austin Reeves because, again, you'd have to match $42 million at least, right? So really, it's like $43 million. Rui Hachimura and Gabe Vincent only get you to just under. I think it gets you to $30 million on the dot because I think Rui's like 18.5, and then Gabe Vincent's 11.5, right? So I think that you get to like $30 million. You still need almost another $20 million in salary. So you'd have to do Maxi Kleber and Gabe Vincent, right? So you're doing a 4-for-1 swap, right? Okay, not a big deal. Who are you really losing in that deal? Rui Hachimura, that's the only guy, plus give up whatever assets. I don't think Sabonis would cost a ton either. I mean, look at what they traded De'Aaron Fox for. Like, that's to me might be the biggest argument to go get Sabonis, is he might, outside of salaries, might be the cheapest player to go get. Right? Like, you might not have to give up anything. Right? You probably have to trade at least a Dalton Connect. But like if you did, those 4 guys that I mentioned plus add in Dalton Connect and landed Domantas Sabonis, I wouldn't hate it. It's like, dude, we're getting you entirely off of his contract, which he has 3 years left, and then you get a young guy in Dalton Connect, right? And all they want to do is just have a bunch of guards that can score the basketball anyway, so Dalton Connect can fit right in beautifully, right? So I just that's probably the biggest argument for Sabonis, is he might be the easiest center to go and trade for, especially when you look at what Sacramento got in return for a De'Aaron Fox, who is literally their franchise guy, was the face of their franchise, was their best player, all of that, right? So if that's what they got for their best player, what do they get for their second best player, right? Like, I would imagine probably less, right? So that to me leans, he just turned 29 years old. So he won't be 30 until the playoffs next year. So he's still young enough to be a piece, at least through his next contract. He's also a very skilled big that we've seen these kind of guys age gracefully. So he probably will be good till he's 35. Like his next contract, you're not giving him $60 million a year, but have him as like move him to the bench role once he gets to 34, right? Have him operate in a bench role. Like I don't hate that idea. I'm not sure if Sabonis and Luka are the answer long term for you. Like are those the two guys that you're essentially building your franchise around for the next handful of years? I don't know if that's it. Again, Sabonis can be an offensive engine. Last year he was 19, 14, and 6. The guy is ridiculous. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to undersell Domantas Sabonis, but all the players that you'd have to give up, that you have to fill in the roster spot, you'd essentially have to have LeBron take a discount. Like LeBron would have to take a discount if you got Sabonis because you'd have to fill out your roster. You'd have like 10 vacant roster spots with limited money and you're hard capped at the second apron already, right? Like, and if the Lakers end up pulling off they could be hard capped at the first apron, right? So it's just, I don't know if the Lakers would be able to pull that off and then still fill out the rest of a roster unless LeBron again is willing to take the discount, right? Or especially with like kind of higher end guys. Now, if LeBron would be willing to take that discount to where now you can break down your full mid-level exception and get like 2 or 3 guys, and then you have your vet minimums, and you could bring in. I mean, look, all you really need is your front 8 to 10 guys anyway. The back 5, it could just be like the young. I mean, literally, it could be just Bronny James. Like it could be all these young guys. You bring in Koloko and Trey Jameson at that point, right? Especially if you have but I also think you'd have to trade Austin Reeves because you need to use Austin Reeves to go get better complementary pieces. Because again, there's no way you can have Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, and Domantas Sabonis as like your 3 of your 5 guys out there on the basketball court. I mean, is there a way? Sure. Like you'd probably be amazing offensively. Like good luck stopping the Lakers offensively, but the Lakers wouldn't be able to stop anybody either. Like the Lakers get blown by every possession, and Sabonis can get a little foul happy and stuff. There's definitely pros and cons with Domantas Sabonis. The one kind of argument is that I don't think he would cost a ton to go get. I think Sacramento in a lot of ways would like to just kind of get off of his salary and contract, which the Lakers would be capable of doing. Like, hey, here's a bunch of expiring contracts. Right now you get off of his salary. We'll throw in Dalton Connect. I mean, I would try not to throw in Dalton. I'd try to just be like, hey, we'll just take Sabonis. I would even try to shape it like, hey, we want something in return. Like, can you get a Keon Ellis in the deal too? Right? Like that way, at least you get some defense. At least you get some point of attack, like, or maybe throw in Connect and get a Keon Ellis. Just because, you could justify, the Connect trade in Sabonis, and then if you got Keon Ellis in the deal too, he's cheap. He's making what? I'm trying to pull it up real quick in real time. He's making $2.3 million this year on a club option, and he's going to have to get paid soon. So I'm just saying, maybe you can pull off some type of trade, some type of deal, and get Keon thrown in the deal and be like, here's Connect, and you get Sabonis and Keon Ellis. Just a thought. Because at least that solves some level of defense. Worst case scenario, you could just start Keon next to Luka, right? But you'd almost have to trade Austin Reeves at that point, in my opinion, right? Because the other thing is too, you got to keep in mind, you'd have Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves. All 3 are going to have the ball in their hands. All 3 guys are going to be playmaking, right? One of the best attributes of Sabonis is his ability to make plays out of the post, and you can kind of run your offense through him at times. Right? He's not Jokic level, but again, he's a skilled big that you can dump the ball down to, and he can make decisions. He can make plays. He can find cutters, right? He can kick out the shooters, but he can also just burn you, stretch the floor, knock down the 3 ball, do a little bit of everything out there, right? So I look at him as like, if you were to go get him and you keep Austin Reeves, remove the defensive issues and things, but you kind of take away a big bonus in Domantas Sabonis, right? Like Domantas Sabonis. Look at him, bars. That's what this is. But in all seriousness, right? He is a guy, to his credit, he's a guy that plays too. That's another thing. Fewest games he's ever played in a season is 62 games. But he played 81, 74, 74, 62, 62, 62, 3 years of 62. Then he played 79, 82, and 70, right? So again, to his credit, he's a guy that plays. Last year, 70 games played, 70 games started. Oh, also, by the way, the year before he played all 82 games, but 70 games played, 70 games started. 34.7 points per game, 12.8 field goals per game, 59% from the floor. He shot 42% from three-point range. It's on 2.2 attempts, but still, he's a guy that can stretch the floor. He's a career 35% three-point shooter. So guy that big that can stretch the floor. Not really the lob threat center, right? Which you could argue. I mean, he's more of a LeBron center than he is a Luka center. But I digress. Point is, 2-point range. 10.5 attempts, 62.7% from the floor, 62.7% EFG. Free throw shooting, 75.4%. He is a really good free throw shooter. He's 73% for his career on 4.1 attempts. 13.9 rebounds, including almost 4 offensive rebounds. Just 3.8, and then the previous year, 3.6. So, again, excellent rebounder. 3 straight years he led the league in rebounding. Excellent rebounder, right? Almost had 14 this past year. 6 assists, a steal, half a block, and 19 points per game is basically what he gives you. Again, he is an excellent player. If you can get him cheap, it might be justified, right? Like, because you can always, like, you know, ride it out for this year and next, see how it goes, and then if it, you know, when LeBron leaves, now he's like an expiring contract, and, you know, you can maybe ship him out and you didn't pay anything to get him. Just a thought. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. That's a question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So we enjoy these types of videos. Truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.